Hey there, I wanted to do another video in this more informal series where I learn a song on camera and talk through what I'm doing so you can see how this process works. So as always, I do not have perfect pitch. I have relative pitch. All the skills I'm using here you can learn. I'll be listening for scale degrees and chord functions. And the song today is this Chappell Roan song that I really like, Good Luck Babe. I've heard it a number of times, but I haven't tried playing it yet on piano. So let's start by finding the key. I'm going to make a chord chart here as we go.
It's fine.
Okay, so it sounds like that is one. And for students who are new to finding the sound of one, I often suggest trying singing around on either side of it. So you could go, if this is 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, or underneath it, 1, 7, 6, 7, 1. So here's where the relative pitch part comes in. I need a reference pitch. So that sounded like flat 7, which means we're in the key of D major. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Right, so I'm hearing all of that as scale degrees. That was the first part of her melody there. And I'll start it from the beginning. It sounds like it's 4, 5, 1, 6 is the chord progression so far. So this is our intro. I'll start from where the chord changes start.
It's fine.
I love the production on this song.
It's cool. You can say that we ain't nothing, but you know the truth. And guess I'm
So far, this is all repeated
with their arms out like
chords
an angel through the gosh unreal.
in this verse. So, you know, I'll write this in two different ways for this 8-bar phrase. There was the numbers, which I'm hearing as 4, 5, 1, and 6. And then we could also write the chord symbols, which are G, A, D, and B minor. So right. So that's 4, 5, 1, and 6. All right, let's keep going.
I don't wanna call it off, but you don't wanna
This is
call
2.
it love. You only wanna be the one that I call baby. 'Cause I'm the boys and boys.
Okay, so that's what that pre-chorus sounds like. It sounded like it was 4 bars and kind of a 2 minor 7 or 2 minor 9 chord. And another way of notating that would be with the actual chord symbol, which here is E minor 7 or E minor 9. And it sounds like when we get to the chorus, we're back to this main chord progression here. So G, A, I'm guessing it's going to be all the same here. I think that was 4 times. I got a little distracted.
Sexually explicit kind of love
So I'll just put a question mark.
It's not fair.
Beautiful string. This is one of my favorite string arrangers, Paul Cartwright. Yeah, so same pre-chorus, all E minor 7, E minor 9. And to give a little more explanation of how I heard those chord functions, I was listening for the bass notes first and foremost, and then there are situations where the harmony doesn't belong so strongly to one key center, and in that situation, I might listen for the bass note, and I'd have to guess a little bit more about like chord quality. Like, okay, I can hear that it's a 4 in the bass, but do I know that it's going to be a major chord, or maybe it's some sort of other chord. But in this case, I can hear pretty clearly that it all belongs to the key. It's all diatonic, meaning every note that we're hearing pretty much is coming from D major. So when you know that and you can hear the bass notes, the chords become really easy to figure out. The chords that belong in this key for 4, 5, 1, and 6 are going to be G major, A major, D major, and B minor. Really classic pop chord progression. And ditto, with the 2 chord, that's a little bit more extended harmony, but there's a certain sound to that chord function of like a 2 minor 7 chord. It turns into this minor 9 chord because of the melody on top. And so I'm just recognizing that chord function. I'd have to spend more time on it, but it sounds like there's some background. Same part that has A on top. Okay, so the reason I just brought both headphones over, this is also a very helpful tip for people learning to learn, starting to learn songs by ear, is that so much of how you can make out the overall shape of the harmony is by listening for the bass. And then you're getting a sense for how everything's stacking up on top of that bass note. And if you can't hear the bass note, that becomes really hard to do. So there's a reason why I'm using headphones here, and I'm screen recording on my iPad to capture the sound. If I were just listening through like a phone speakers typically cut out everything below like 300 hertz. So you actually just cannot hear the fundamental, like the lowest frequency of the bass notes. And you might still be able to kind of pick out the bass because we get all the like higher frequencies coming from the bass as well, but it makes it a lot harder to hear the bass if you're just listening from a phone recording. So if you're starting to practice this skill of figuring out chord progressions by ear, I highly recommend that you use good headphones or like use really good speakers with lots of low end because it just makes your job way easier. And so even with one earphone on, I wasn't totally sure what bass note I was hearing at first on this. This seems like a bridge. But I'm pretty confident now that it is doing the same thing that the pre-chorus does. So it's kind of like a 2 minor chord. And they're like building up all these layers. Such cool strings. So the bass is hanging out on 2, and then it goes to 4 for the chorus. So back to the chorus. And I could make a little map of the form too. So we had intro, verse, pre-chorus, right? Verse, pre-chorus, bridge, and back to the chorus. Very typical pop song form. And then this is so cool how it like slows down here. So I guess it ends up being in D flat major there at the end. What a cool song! I love this song. I mean, she's just such a cool personality as an artist. So there you go. That's how you would listen through and in real time make a quick chord chart. Hope you've enjoyed this little real time demonstration. And yeah, I might do more of these videos coming up in the near future. I like that it's more informal. So let me know if you're enjoying these or if you'd rather that I stick to my more edited video formats. Thanks.